Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am really excited to be here today. This is our very first, what we're calling a partner town hall, where we're going to talk a little bit about our partner platform, a little bit about RepairPal, and then some exciting new developments as well. But before we dive into all that, just some logistics. I would point out to you that there's the ability to add comments on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll be actively presenting for the first part of this, but if you think of something and you're like, hey, I'd love to ask this question or make a comment, please feel free to do that throughout the presentation. We will also have a dedicated time for Q&A at the very end, and that's where you can pop in anything that comes into your mind as we go through this. So again, welcome. And with that, I'd like to talk to you about the team members that'll be joining me today. So I'm Kathleen Long. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for RepairPal, and it's my pleasure to work with these folks all day, every day. So first up is Kristen Battaglia. She's our Partner Development Director. I'm also joined by Dan Pera, our Senior Manager for all of our consumer partner programs. Andrew Hajar, who leads our partner and consumer engagement teams as the director for that team. And Sheila Sarkozy, who is our Senior Marketing Manager for Industry and Growth and spends quite a bit of her time helping partners to market services to their consumers. So with that, let's jump into the first slide here. And I'm going to hand it off to Kristen to talk a little bit about something neat that we're doing with this particular town hall.
Yeah, thanks, Kathleen. So at RepairPal, one of our major main values is force for good. And with recent events with the hurricanes and such, we thought it would be helpful for shops in need to donate $10 for each registrant today. And so we are donating to Automotive Aftermarket Charitable Foundation. It is their 65th anniversary, and they help support individuals and families that have had hardships due to weather-related incidents, medical conditions, and other devastating fatalities. And so if you would like to donate, they're asking for $65 for their anniversary, and you can go to aftermarketcharity.org.
Yes. So you're not only attending to hear a bunch of great stuff today, hopefully, but also your attendance or registration here will benefit this great charity. So with that, I will jump in to talk a little bit about our mission. So those of you who don't know RepairPal as well might not have heard us talk about this before. But as Kristen just mentioned, we do have values that guide us. And our mission is to provide quality car repair. And we do that by backing that up with a fair price guarantee. But who we are and how we operate is just as important as what our mission is. And it helps us to deliver on that mission. So first and foremost, and hopefully we'll be living these values as we go through this presentation today, but we're authentic. So we believe in transparency and that being genuine is really important. As Kristen already mentioned, we are a force for good. So we try to devote ourselves to making the world better. We're collaborative. So we believe working together as partners and with our partners brings greatness. We don't mind being disruptive. And what we mean by that is that we innovate to create better solutions. And sometimes those things are uncomfortable. So as one example, when we first came out with our fair price estimator, folks were like, hey, what do you think you're doing? Like being transparent about prices for auto repair. And we were okay with that dialogue because we believe it's the right answer for the consumer and that it aligned with our other values. And so when things are the right thing to do, we are disruptive in those ways. And lastly, we're also driven. We strive to be great at what we do and to make differences happen. And hopefully you see that in how each of these people, represent themselves, what you see from us online, and also how we behave in person, offline. So if you're our partner, then you can expect that we'll be living these values when we work with you. And so what is on top of all of these values is that we've become the largest trusted auto repair marketplace, which is really exciting for us. And we look at ourselves as a three-sided marketplace. We've got repairpal.com, which is how most of you probably know us. And that's where we're connecting consumers with high-quality auto repair they can trust, empowering them with information, resources, and tools to help them with their cars. We are delighted that we have over 100 partners that are willing to refer their customers to RepairPal certified shops. And they do that because they know that they're going to have an excellent service experience. They're going to pay a fair price. Our shops are the experts. and they do repairs right and with high quality parts backed up by a warranty. And so we're really proud of that. And certainly last but not least, in fact, last and most perhaps, we have a network of over 3,700 shops nationwide. And we have, as I mentioned before, evaluated those to the highest standards for quality, customer satisfaction, and fair pricing. We do an upfront evaluation when shops join our network, and then we continuously monitor and evaluate them to make sure that things start out great and stay great. And that's the reason why so many partners are willing to refer business to us, is because not just the shops who are awesome, but because we do actively manage that program to those standards. And so with that, I'll hand it off to you, Kristen, to talk a little bit about those partners that I just mentioned.
Yeah, thanks, Kathleen. So you can see our listing of 100 plus different partners. These are our main 6 referral partner categories. And when you do become a partner with RepairPal, you will either probably work with myself or with Dan Para. And Dan, primarily, he works with a lot of the 30 plus extended service providers that we partner with. I do a little bit more on the consumer focused businesses and insurance. But at the end of the day, we talk to many different types of partners outside of these categories that are always trying to think creatively on how to help their customers and provide more value to them. So to simplify things, the way we work with referral partners is a customer needs a repair. And so then they go to you as their trusted provider, and they get connected with us, whether it's through a landing page or one of your associates. And then they'll book an appointment and go to a RepairPal certified shop and have a fabulous experience. And the back end, RepairPal will match all the partner and shop data, and then we provide that to you as our partner through monthly reporting or a dashboard. We have a 99% success rate. As you can see, it's really only about 7 issues are generated per month. And basically, Andy's team, you'll hear later, will help support that whole process as needed. So brief overview of our workflow with the partners. As a partner, you can have a landing page and also self-serve options. We will help you with any type of communications. And then we will also deliver reporting and analytics. For shops, they're part of our platform. They receive referrals coming in and providing more value to their service and retention. And then consumers, obviously, they come into us through repairpal.com. They will set up accounts, then we will send reminders and alerts, and we guarantee through our fair price estimator a quality experience.
Great. So as Kristen just described, we have a really robust set of partner tools, and our platform itself, very robust in terms of managing and setting an experience for shops, consumers, and partners alike. Of course, this town hall is for partners. So let's focus a little bit on the tools and experiences here. So today we'll be talking about our co-marketing solutions, and that's why we've got the wonderful Sheila here. We'll be talking about co-branded landing page, which literally we can set up in seconds for new partners coming on board. So it can be really, really easy to get started with us. We've got a number of tools that if you've got a call center or a physical location type presence, retail outlet, whatever, that if you've got a customer service team that's helping customers in any way, whether physically or virtually, we can equip them with tools to make referrals. We've got APIs for integration. And then, of course, we're going to talk as well about our partner support options, how we stand behind this experience, how we make sure that your customers, not only convert to these repair shops and understand why they're awesome, but then also on the back end, how we're supporting it for the 7 times out of 1,000, to be very specific, that a customer might have an issue. And we do thousands of repairs per month. And we are able to scale that pretty effectively because of the low rate of escalations. Having said that, it's still car repair. And when there's an escalation, it's usually pretty hairy. And that's why that team is here to help. So with that, I will hand it off to Sheila to talk about some of our awesome co-marketing options.
Thank you, Kathleen. I'm really excited to be here to share some insights on how we're collaborating with all of our partners. And the goal is to help you grow and provide even better services to your customers. So we're going to first dive into co-marketing. So I'll preface by saying when we collaborate, it's about making sure that both RepairPal and our partners gain the visibility and the brand recognition that we all deserve. So with that being said, one of the very first things that we do is we create a press release, and this will formally announce our partnership to the world. And what we do is we send out our press release to our media contacts and we promote it on social media. We also encourage our partners to do the same. And co-branded assets are available to you from day one. We can also personalize it as well. And that includes materials like images, wording in social media campaigns, email templates, and that pretty much will make it easy for you to engage with your customers without having to start from scratch and make it all yourself without knowing our brand assets and whatnot. And the goal is to have these ready to go promotional templates you can plug right into your social media strategy, email strategy, whatever you start with, hoping to save you some time and effort while driving some real results. We also understand that there's a big importance in having some physical materials to hand out in some cases. So that is why we provide materials like flyers, glove box inserts, and other print material by request if needed. And all of our co-marketing assets, like I said, can be personalized for your business. That way we're giving you another way to stay top of mind to your customers, to customers after they leave the shop. And for companies that are active on social media, we continue to promote your brand through our channels. We have a promotional campaign going out weekly with partners. And one of the things that I love most about our co-marketing efforts is the diverse set of channels that we cover. So we don't just stick to one format. We put on webinars, podcasts, guest video appearances, are all different ways that we can collaborate. So if you have a podcast and you need an expert for vehicle repair, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, or if just an expert in the industry altogether, we are there to support you. And with that being said, case studies. So now I really want to talk about a little bit about the power of case studies. So data and real world results definitely speak louder than words. So that's why case studies are just another effective tool that we offer to our partners. So they're not just stories. We try to make sure they're proof of success. And we do have these accessible in our Partner Success Center. And what's great about a case study is it highlights what's working and addresses the challenges that our partners face. So these case studies show how RepairPal has solved these issues for our partners. And as we continue partnerships, we will keep creating and asking you to participate in these studies to show new partners and remind current ones and your customers just how impactful working with us can be. And I will hand it over to Dan. Thank you.
Thank you, Shields. So I can't see all of you out there. I'm sure I've met with many of you before, but if you're new to us, nice to meet you. I'm Dan. I've been here 7 years. So if you have been around RepairPal, you've probably met me at some point. And part of what I do is I get your tools ready for you to be successful. And we might as well just start with the most basic of things. And I tell people, look, if you'd like to come on board and have us help your consumers and your customers, we can stand this up on day one. And that's why the slide says that. It's just as simple as getting a logo and a couple other little bits of information. As you can see here, and we'll touch on it a little bit later, this is a newer version, latest and greatest of our landing page. And the landing page is something like repairpal.com/endurance, or fill in your name here. So that's something we can definitely do right away for you. It can be probably the most versatile type of referral asset, and also the simplest. What our landing page is going to include these days and has It's going to include a way for customers to self-serve and find their own shop. And then also it's going to include chat at the bottom right. Andy can get into this a little bit after me, but we have a pretty robust, strong team of chatters, consumer engagement that can help customers with basic questions and get them to the right place. And then also we have Car Genius as a part of this page too. So that top right corner there of that page, they're going to be able to engage with our Car Geniuses to help them along their way if they'd rather speak to somebody about their mechanical issues. So what we're calling general partner tools, it's a shop lookup tool meant for internal use. So if you have a team of customer service representatives, claims representatives, people that are working for your company, engaging with customers, this page is going to allow them to quickly find shops, either send a list of those shops to that customer or offer to make an appointment. We have a number of different filters and things that they can use to sort and find the right shop for them, because that's really the name of the game, being able to sort by their needs, their time frame, their zip code, and then finding the best shop for them. So that's what this page is called. And traditionally we've called it an agent page, but we like shop lookup tool, and that's going to be for internal use. And this is just a zoom in of what those cards look like. So this is something that your internal team of customer service representatives can use. It's going to show you technical ability, specialties, and then also it'll even show labor rate, how many mechanics they have. So these are things that, it's going to empower your team to be able to make the right decision in referring that to the customer. And so that's that internal tool. And then finally, we do have a pretty robust, it's one of my favorite words, set of APIs, but the biggest one that will apply here is going to be the shop list API. So these are just some examples of our partners that have used that to integrate RepairPal shop list onto their website directly. So it's a great idea for apps, for websites, your find a repair facility locator. So people can see that in your native color scheme and skin, and people don't leave your site for another experience like our landing page, something like that. So that's certainly available. And then, furthermore, if you're an extended service provider and you've got a claim system, it's possible also to ingest a shop list into that, so you can denote preferred facilities or even a roadside provider. That's also a possibility there. So the API is a great tool, and you can use that in conjunction with some of our others or standalone or whatever works for you. And I believe we're going to Andy.
We are.
At the bottom of the screen.
Well, hello. What a tough act to follow.
I know.
I'll say I've been here 10 years, so take that.
Okay, you win.
Good to meet everybody. Thanks so much for taking some time to join us today. Look, we've talked about a bunch of fantastic things, new tools, solutions, all these things. So we've got to be sure that we support it for you, right? So we do actively, support and manage our partners. We want to make sure that we're there for you through every step of the journey, through your customers and for our shops as well. So we do that in a few ways. We've got a live chat team that will stand up on your landing page 7 days a week. They're on there, and they're there ready to help customers find the best shop for what they need. Triage issues. If there's anything else needed, they can get it to the right team internally. And then we set you up with a customer support email so that you can reach us anytime, get you a dedicated phone number and all that stuff. So we're here for you to make sure that the wheels stay on. And then look, they're a fantastic team. They're small but mighty, and people say just great things about them. I won't read every single bubble on the screen for you. But you can see some common themes, 10 out of 10 all around, 5 stars, best services I've experienced in a long time. So we're really aiming to delight customers throughout every step of this process. The team's got a fantastic CSAT rating, usually about, 4.9 out of 5 stars, something like that. So we're really proud of them. Okay.
Great. And with that, I will jump back in as we're getting juicier and juicier as we go on. Now we're going to be talking about what's new. So all of the stuff that we've mentioned to you before has been available to our partners in a partner suite now for a few years. And so we're pleased that we're expanding what we're able to offer to partners and thinking through some additional options that I think are going to make life easier. So one, and this is true across our partner engagements as well as on our core website, we are enhancing our scheduling capabilities with shops. So as you may or may not know, RepairPal has what we call a native scheduling system where shops can set up a variety of different parameters using their dashboard. They can tell us what lead time they want, how many appointments they want to receive per day, what their appointment hours are, if those differ from their open hours. Like maybe shops are open on weekends, but they don't want to take appointments on weekends because they're using that for overflow, for example. And so we've got a pretty decent scheduling system. We notify and alert the shops when something new comes in, and many shops are still using that native scheduling system. Having said that, we have a partner, AutoOps, that we have integrated that allows shops to have real-time scheduling. This is great for shops because it's a two-way read-write from their shop management system calendar. So we're pulling in real-time availability. We're offering that back to the customer who's using the scheduling system. And it's writing back into the shop management system to help make sure there's no double entry, nothing gets lost and all of that. It allows the customers to select the repair service, describe whatever issues they've got, and then to get those real-time appointment slots delivered back to them based on the service that they're selecting. So it's a pretty robust system. Consumers won't really know the difference when they come to our site, which kind of experience they're selecting, but it's much easier on the back end for shops to manage. And we're currently in the process of getting as many shops as possible enrolled in this real-time scheduling enhancement. So, on the partner end, I would say the big benefit to the partner is not just that your consumers are going to have this great experience. That's important. It's certainly very focused on it. But also we're finding that it helps to improve conversion. And ultimately, we typically share a little money back with our partners when they're doing referrals into our shops that convert to repairs. And so we want to get that conversion as high as possible, both for customer experience reasons, but also for partner and value reasons as well. So next, we have improved nearly everything that we have in the partner suite that we've just talked about. So we talked about our landing pages. We've had those for quite a long time. If you're an existing partner, probably know about it already because we've given you this spiel. But we've updated our landing page. There's customizable text. We have done a better job of integrating the support options that Andy just got done telling you about. We've enhanced the value proposition on the page. There is a new directory experience, which is actually very good, and we continue to work on improving that. That directory experience includes real-time scheduling with the shops where it's available. It also includes enhanced matching. So we're really trying to match consumers with the precisely right shop for them, meaning, oh, I've got a transmission issue. Great. Let me not just refer you to any mid to major mechanical repair shop in the RepairPal network. Let me refer you to one that's great with transmissions. So that's some of the directory enhancement that we've got going on. There's easier access to the chat as well. We've done a better integration with our FAQs. And we've made the partner logos upon request. We've made the partner logos larger so that your brand is a little more present on the page along with RepairPal. We do like to do co-branded situations because we are offering your consumers guarantees. We offer them a fair pricing guarantee if they're the one paying for the repair. Obviously, if it's an extended warranty provider, we're helping to cost manage that network for you so that you're not paying too much for the repair. So there's a cost component to the guarantee. And the second component to the guarantee is a customer service guarantee. So we are following up with any customers that don't have a simply awesome experience and making sure we resolve any issues. And so we want that experience to be co-branded. Having said that, we realize you're the one referring the customer and we want to make you front and center. And then we've built what we call self-serve, which is similar to what you're going to get with an API, but let me show it to you in a little bit more detail here on the next slide. So basically, this allows you to put an experience right on your own website. That is very similar to our updated landing page deployment, but nobody has to click away from your website to get to it. It's got integrated Card Genius and chat. It's got this enhanced directory experience, that I just talked about, the real-time scheduling options, all of that, and you don't have to build it yourself. It's probably slightly more complicated than embedding a YouTube video, but not much. So it's going to be a few hours, maybe, of your IT team's time. You just need to figure out where you want to put this bad boy. And we have shown, we're doing it currently with CarMax. If you want to see their version of self-serve, you can go to carmax.com/service and click on the button to schedule online. That is a RepairPal driven experience. And what you'll see there is that we take the customer through, very simple series of questions. In their case, it can be a logged in or a guest experience. But basically it mimics all the best of what we're learning about our directory and stays up to date, and very low effort on your end. And so we're really, really excited about this. It's launching this month. Something you're interested in, let us know. We'll get you the technical documentation for it and talk about how you can do it. And again, it can work in concert with, it doesn't have to be exclusive. You don't have to go, well, do I want a landing page or do I want a self-serve? Maybe you want a landing page that you can link off to from blog content, or social media campaigns or other things. And then maybe you want to think about, integrating this to your website. Or often what we see with partners, they start with a landing page while they work on a deeper integration on their own website. Or maybe you're using the API for your internal integration, but you're using this for your customer facing integration, again, because it includes the best of both worlds, staying on your website, but also integrating all of the learning that we have about best ways of managing directory, managing customers, getting them to convert, all of our support options and all of that. So let us know if you're interested or have any questions about that. And with this, I will hand it off once again to Andy to talk about one of our other new-ish offerings, which is Car Genius.
Yeah, thanks. And so, you probably heard it, mentioned a few times in this call, and we're thinking, okay, when are they going to get to this Car Genius thing? Here we are. So Car Genius is, RepairPal Car Genius is staffed by ASE certified service advisors and master technicians. It is a resource for consumers. And the whole thought behind this was know before you go, what you see at the top here, right? So what kinds of things, if a consumer has, just questions before they go to a shop, right? Who do they ask? Who do they trust with that? So, trust and transparency is also our driving force. So it made, natural sense. So it's a free resource. You can provide your customers with access to this free resource as a value add. And the kinds of things they could expect would be things like, hey, geez, my car's having this problem. What should I ask before I go to the shop? What kind of shop, should I be looking for this? They can also help the customer, find and schedule an appointment at one. What should I ask the technician when it's there? Hey, my car's already at the shop. What does this estimate mean? Things like that. So it's just a terrific resource. In terms of that, we get custom phone numbers for our partners to be able to send to their customers, so we can track that for you. We have customized, tip sheets that people often provide to their customers as a value add. So it's just a terrific resource. You can see some of the great things that people have been saying about them here.
Yeah, and not for nothing, but this is also an award-winning service. So we have won a Motor Top 20 award for our Car Genius service. And look, Mechanics Hotline, not necessarily a new idea, but what I think is really special about this is that we're not charging you for it and we're not charging the customer for it. This is part of the help that RepairPal wants to provide to partners and our partner customers. So it's absolutely free. And like Andy said, great to bundle in with a series of other benefits you might be giving customers. So if you're thinking about, roadside benefit or some other perks or discounts, you can do that here.
One last thing I wanted to add about Car Genius is that if you have a subset of your customers that are technologically challenged, we'll say, and would prefer to talk to somebody instead of using a tech forward solution like a landing page or something like that, it's also a nice alternative to be able to offer those people if they're older or they just don't like to go online to schedule services.
Yeah, that's right. And we do see that there are people who prefer to call for whatever reason, whether older or not, or just not technically savvy, that are using our Car Genius service. And people are using it for all kinds of things, including, helping them to evaluate next car to buy, or, understanding an issue or what might be going on with the car. So it's been a really great service. And just like our chat service and our partner support service, it's very highly rated. We have a nearly perfect customer satisfaction score for that team. So awesome. So if you haven't already guessed, there are a lot of benefits to partnering with RepairPal. Some things that we didn't mention so far is that how customizable this is. So we can curate a custom network based on your needs. So I mentioned earlier that we have 3,700, closer to 3,800 shops in the network now. But if you've got other needs that you want to impose on the network. So for example, our partnership with USAA, they want only shops that have background checks. We have other partners with specific geographic needs, or that, want shops that have specific capabilities, maybe shops that carry tire inventory or something of that nature. We can create a custom network based on what your specific needs are, and then deliver that through any of these experiences we've mentioned, so that you're only getting the subset of shops that meet whatever your specific requirements are. It's an omni-channel customer experience. There are certainly digital self-serve options, which is the way of the world. But then we also do that with, human-led or human engagement with both our chat and Car Genius services. We have talked about how we can help you to, distinguish yourself in the market by offering these options, as well as, having us as a quality solution for both auto repair and advice. We do provide what I call brand protection. That's how I refer to our partner support, because ultimately we realize that if you make a recommendation and something goes wrong, that the customer is probably mad at the shop, they're probably mad at RepairPal, and they're probably mad at you. So we need to solve that problem across the board so that you can have a strong brand presence. And that's the reason why, companies that really, really care about their brand, like Consumer Reports, for example, who we all know stands for the consumer, that RepairPal is one of the only referral services across any industry, actually, that they feature on their website, because we offer this kind of brand protection and support for customers. Our tools are largely plug and play. Even the API, people have given us input, technical people smarter than me, have given us input that our documentation is robust and it's really easy to integrate. And, ultimately for the many partners that we have that are extended warranty, vehicle service contract type companies, we do offer a reduction in claims cost and claim severity by using our, what we call claims friendly shops, which are those that are following all of the guidelines and understand this kind of work. We do provide additional training and materials and resources to shops as well, to really help them understand what each partnership entails and what they need to do in order to best serve the customer and ultimately to meet the partner's goals. And as I'm saying all of this, my friend Joe said RepairPal is a great company to do business with. HWG loves them. Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate you too.
Thank you, Kaluch.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate you, Joe. So now what I would say is, please, we would love to connect with you. So we've all got these handy link trees for all of our, online and contact details. Many of us have calendars that you can schedule with if you need us. We'd love to connect. There's an online, a digital, and a non-digital way to connect with us too, just like our partner solutions. So we go to a lot of events. We will be at Apex SEMA. We would love to meet with anybody that's going to be there. We will be at the Buy Here, Pay Here Forum and Used Car Week. We're going to be at the ASE Board Meeting and Awards, TOMAN, and of course, there's a variety of different ways of pronouncing this, but I call it NADA as opposed to NADA or any of those other things. But we will be there in New Orleans as well. And look at this list. People wonder why I'm on the road. This is why. So we would love to meet with you at any of these things. And so now I will open it up for any additional comments or questions that you might have about anything that we talked about today. I would also, again, just love to acknowledge everyone who registered and attended. You did a great thing. You donated money to charity. But also, I appreciate you being such great partners to RepairPal and thinking about different ways that you can integrate us for the benefit of your customers. And I'll wait a minute for questions because I'm not, for those that may know me, sort of outside of this container, as it were. I'm also a meditation teacher, so I'm not afraid of silence. We'll give just a couple minutes for questions.
Don't be shy. I am afraid of silence, so I had to say something to break the ice. Don't leave me alone with my thoughts.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing. Dan is a thinker. Right. Well, good. Well, if there aren't any questions, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and close this out. Again, thank you so much. Oh, Joe's asking, do you ever plan to get into heavy duty truck shops? We probably have a few shops today, Joe, that are capable of doing that. We haven't specifically added that capability to the upfront that a consumer selects. But we can certainly take a look at that and see if we can identify some shops for you that you could use in that space. So we'll take that as a to-do item.
I would add that we do get asked about, various other kind of corollaries such as, RV or power sports, and they would just happen to be in our network. We're not certifying on them based on those things, but I know that there's a lot of service contracts out there for various types of vehicles, not just light passenger vehicles. So we can find ones that maybe we do have in our network, yeah.
Yeah, and we do have heavy duty listed now as a specific specialty that we're tracking. So we should be able to identify those. We get asked about RV shops all the time too, Kyle. Thanks for the question. But we don't really, I don't know of any shops in our network currently that work on RVs. They're a little like movable homes, so to speak. And so there's a lot of different things that can go wrong inside and outside on those bad boys. And I know that's a need, but we haven't specifically identified shops for that. But we'll keep you all posted. Saritha is also asking to explain a little bit about background checks with USAA. And what I mean by that is they require that the shops that do business with them have a process in place inside of their repair shop for conducting background checks for their employees and staff. And so, for that particular network, we have only included shops that have a background check process for their employees. And so, so James is saying, y'all will rebate a part of the cost we spend with you when a shop does the repair as well as the diagnosis. So what we do, James, is we charge the shops usually on a per repair basis for the referral of the repair. And then, yes, we share some of that back as a revenue share with our partners. And that's, anything that the shop has charged for. Most shops charge to do a diagnosis. So assuming that they've charged for the diag and or the repair, then we share that back with our partners. In some cases, we've got some shops where we charge them on a per referral basis. So in that case, even if the customer does or doesn't come into the shop, we would be sharing that back with our partners as well. So either way, when we monetize with a shop, we share that back with our partner as part of the partner agreement. We have a few partnerships that don't have a revenue share component. That's generally by request of the partner. We do save partners money, and some of them don't want to account for revenue share or something of that nature. And so in those cases, there isn't a revenue share, but typically we do have one, and it's part of that agreement that we have with our partners. And then Joe's also asking anything new for 2025. So we're going to, continue rollout of some of these tools and enhancements that we just built. And I think, for 2025, obviously, we want to continue to add shops, collect shop specialties, get even better at matching, in that right shop for me concept, matching consumers with shops. So that, we're sure that we're sending them to a shop that can handle their needs. And we also want to expand beyond what we believe our core competency is, which is those mid to major mechanical repairs, and look more at some other ancillary services like maintenance, tires, et cetera. So you can expect us to have, more to come on those other services as well. One of the things that we added earlier this year to our platform also is coupons and things like that. So, we want to look at how discounts drive customer behavior, and then think about how we use that in our partner experiences as well. And And then, of course, we'll be responding to partner requests. So if partners have things that they would like us to build, grow, or develop, that will help to set that 2025 roadmap. You're very welcome, Joe. Appreciate you. Okay. Well, see, I'm glad I waited. Such great questions. All right. Well, with this, I will once again say thank you so much for attending. If you think of anything and you were like, shoot, I really wished I'd asked them that, you can certainly connect with us. Many of you already know how to get in touch with us, but if you don't, you can visit our link trees, which are just our first and last names. Find us and set up time to chat or shoot us an email. We'd be happy to talk more with you about any or all of this. And with that, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.